All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the I Can Do This All Day podcast. I am Dan, the Part-Time Avenger. That is Mark, the Resident Jedi.
Hello there. We have a propensity on this podcast for quoting and referencing movies of our youth, movies of our favorite times as millennials, and we thought, what better way to use our movie quotation powers than by divvying up our own individual Mount Rushmores of our most quotable millennial movies.
Yeah, so we are millennials, and although I really hate to say that term because millennial is the most commonly mistaken genre of people. The generation itself, there's so many people who are like, millennials today. Like, you're talking about, like, way past the millennial phase. So technically, the millennials range from like 1980 to like 95, something like that.
I think it's 83 to like 90, 94 or something like that.
It depends on who you talk to. So I'm kind of like that borderline. So I'm 82, but like I've seen things to where millennials are from like 1980 to whatever. But at the same time, you know what? I don't give a fuck because this is our podcast and we're just gonna go ahead and go with it. Millennial movie quotes, but these are our millennial movie quotes. There's some movie quotes that you might be thinking like, wait, why is this not in there? Like, well, we had to have a little bit of a criteria, so we decided to kind of keep the movies around the 90s, if you will, because those were kind of more of our formative years. Yes, we grew up in the 80s. However, we didn't really grow up and really started flourishing our personalities until the 90s. Am I right? I think so.
I would agree. Some late 80s in there, maybe a little bit, but we watched those on VHS in the 90s.
Yeah, but there are some other things that we had to leave off of these lists because we did not want to put out any type of insensitive racial quotes as entertaining and as impactful as they may have been in the movies that they were in. So sorry, Quentin Tarantino. All of the movie quotes that we would quote back in the day or just thought were hilarious are not going to be on this list, unfortunately. But Mark, what else? What do you got from some things that did not quite make this list?
While I argued for it, not a lot, nothing from like Mean Girls or things that we are just outside of the main demographic here for. Nothing from Clueless. We're not here to be posers. We're two aging millennial guys, so they're more guy quotes than girl quotes.
I will say that there are some that I wanted on this list, but because we've done other Mount Rushmores for this particular director, and that's Kevin Smith, I could have put everything from Clerks and Mallrats on here. So 37 was my just right there. I wanted to put
I'm not
37.
even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, it's just too easy, and who knows? Maybe we'll just do a Mount Rushmore of Kevin Smith movie quotes. I'm going to say 37 is going to be on that one.
But Hartford, the Whale, breakfasts come and go.
Good stuff. But let's go ahead and kick this off with the first millennial movie quotes, which I believe is going to be one of yours, Mark.
You're killing me, Smalls. Who doesn't love The Sandlot? The end of the baseball season is upon us. Gonna miss it, but man, what a great movie when you're a kid. And what an also fully appropriate thing to still use in your adulthood when you're dealing with incompetent people at work or just incompetent people anywhere. Just, you're killing me, Smalls.
People still use that quote to this day, and I guarantee you there are people that don't even know what that quote is from or what it means, and they just say it.
That's what makes a great quote. It's timeless, and it just keeps going.
I never really was a big fan of The Sandlot. I know, all you millennials out there and fellow dads are probably thinking like, oh, are you even American? Like, but yeah.
You know what we're thinking is that you're killing us, Smalls.
Yeah. But I just wasn't into kid movies back in my kid days. My next slide up here is going to be one of my favorite quotes. The price is wrong, bitch. So when it comes to Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore, there's so many different quotes from Happy Gilmore. Most of them, the very obscure ones, like "suck my white ass ball." Another thing that I would say all the time in high school, "The Price is Wrong, bitch" was just basically uttered every recess in junior high, and almost every time we would go out to eat in high school. And you know, it's like, oh man, we're starting to pay for food ourselves now. We've got jobs, and every time it was like, oh, what's the price of that? And someone chimes in, "Price is wrong, bitch," and that's just how it was. So, brings a lot of joy with such a spiteful phrase, but what a great movie! What a great quote! All right, but well, Mark, let's go on to yours.
How about no? Austin Powers, for some reason, lost to time for so many people. Talk about a movie that we need. Let's kick up. If they did a Happy Gilmore 2, how about an Austin Powers 4? Let's go. Let's get it done. Mike Myers is doing Shrek again. Let's do another Austin Powers. So did a little about a shish, this shish, but how about no was definitely still using it. Still using it today. Such a great banshee of quotes from this whole movie.
Anytime the kids suggest something or come up with some crazy idea, my wife and I just look at each other and just like, "Are you gonna say it or am I gonna say it?" And that's what we do. He's like, "How about no?" It's so funny, so good,
Have
and
your kids have your kids
definitely
seen the movie to get the quote?
they've seen the short little clip in plenty of memes,
Okay.
so I will assume that they just get it from Austin Powers. But yeah, we've watched Austin Powers with them. I believe we watched the first two. I don't think we ever watched the third one, but maybe one day. Maybe one day when they're too old to get the humor. I don't know, but
You gotta get them to watch Austin Powers 2 so that they think that just the two of us is a song from Austin Powers and You Complete Me is a line from Austin Powers because these movies, they're so good.
I've got one for you, Mark. This one is highly deserving to be on my Mount Rushmore because you can trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Ben Stiller as the orderly in Happy Gilmore. I would love to say this anytime anyone would ask me for anything. Even if it was like, "I really need your help." Ah, and I would say this to him. And I got such high satisfaction and I felt so satisfied when I would say it. But I highly recommend that you do this at work. It's fun to say, and if you have good coworkers, they will appreciate it, and it will make their day even better. I
I, I
promise you.
I swear that half the quotes I drop at work, people just don't get because I'm old.
Uh,
All the
uh,
youngins that I were, all the youth of today, all the Ute,
Utes, the
the
two
Utes,
Utes.
the Utes don't get it.
Yeah, but one of my favorites, and I will still continue to say this, and I'll be honest with you, I've said it to my kids a few times. Don't worry, they've got tough skin. Everything's all good. But going on to the next quote on the Rushmore for Mark.
Well, I just want to talk about this quote meow because it is by far one of my favorite things to do meow whenever I'm on like you want to talk about things you could do at work meow. If you're on a work call and somebody's being a little bit too serious, you just start putting meow in there. And
It's
eventually they'll be like,
applicable.
"Did you just say meow?" And then, yeah.
I'll do it right here, right meow. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no shame in it. It's so fun. And here's a little bit of insight to Mark and I's first interactions with each other at work. I think this was one of the very first inside jokes and quotes that you had said or I had said or something, and we were like, "Well, did we just become did we just
Did we just
become
become
best
best
friends?
friends?
Let's do karate in the
Velociraptor.
garage." Oh my God, it was funny, and we would do at one of my previous jobs such a bargain. You know, if you ever shop there, it was such a bargain, a patriotic bargain, if you will. I would do the meow on customer phone calls.
I've done the
So
meow
ridiculous.
in like customer facing presentations.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same here. Same here.
I
It's
mean,
fun.
my favorite is company wide webinars. I've got a VP at the company I work at that if you're on the pre-call, if you show up to the pre-call early enough and you have a portion of his vast team call, he'll give you a challenge word to get in there or a random movie quote. And
Nice.
the first that was another one of those did we just become best friends moments.
That's a good work culture right there.
It
That's
is.
good.
It is. It's solid. And this just breaks the ice and it's so quotable all the time. You know, and this is a hard one for me because littering and is also
Yeah.
on that list for me, but Super Troopers is so quotable.
Yeah, so many quotes in Super Troopers, and meow is just like a harmless quote. You know, like someone may
It
pick, are
is.
you saying meow? Like,
Did you say
what?
meow?
What?
How many meows can you get it?
Yeah.
The meow count is still a great one. And Super Troopers is such a millennial movie. Like, because it's their whole group is very like not heavily represented anymore on the internet. Like they did a Super Troopers 2 a while ago, but like it's such a cult classic for our generation.
Yeah,
It deserves to be on
absolutely.
this Rushmore.
Of course. Everything deserves to be on the Rushmore that we post because this is our podcast.
It is.
Until you guys have your own podcasts, eh,
I
it's all
mean, if
good.
they're watching us, they can see it's not that hard to have your own podcast. So
I don't know how many podcasts. I think we're up there in like the top 9% of podcasts of duration. I think we're up there. Like we've lasted longer than a majority or like a resounding majority of podcasts that are out there. So the longevity is there, the entertainment's there, and hey, this is for us. This is for the millennials, for those that like these types of quotes and movies.
oh man.
But going into the next one on my Mount Rushmore, MILF. MILF. So this one had to be on my list. I will say this is kind of bittersweet for me as well because people in high school would say I looked like that guy as John Cho in there, and I didn't see it. As a matter of fact, I don't know. Like listeners, can you chime in here? Like I just don't think that's the case. But dude, MILF is not even like I felt like I needed to put this on here because it all stemmed from this movie and this quote. There is an entire genre of pornography in adult films that just circles around this particular word. And it all came from this movie. And how many people are just like that? There are people that put it on their license plates. Like it's ridiculous. They wear t-shirts with MILF on there. Like how is if this might be the most influential quote of the 90s just because it's now used in so many different things including the adult industry. So, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm gonna stick to it. So that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard that this has been used a lot in a lot of the adult entertainment. So, Mark, have you heard the same thing? I don't know if you have.
I'm curious to see where if it really is if this was the origin
Oh, it's
for
gotta be,
MILF.
dude. I've never heard of it until then. And if it wasn't, if it was said before, it did not catapult into the stratosphere until this movie.
Yeah, no, I googled it, and it
And
definitely it appeared in like a Playboy article in '95 and a research paper in '92, but it definitely lists the 1999 movie American Pie as the film that helped popularize the acronym. So if Google AI says it is, it must be, and I can't believe like that it wasn't older than that. But man,
yeah,
we are old. And
it's
this
on this
movie is
list.
old, but this movie is great. Talk about another movie. Like, we need another one. Another
Yeah.
one.
There is going to be another one. It's going to be American Funeral.
I
So
haven't heard anything about that yet.
I have heard, I believe Sean William Scott even said, but like, yeah, so Stifler's mom, spoiler alert, from the supposed plot of it, Stifler's mom is the one who passes away. And that's where it all gets the gang back together. So we shall see if that does come to fruition. I do hope so because I love those movies. Not necessarily like the extensions like Bandcamp or The Naked Mile. I never saw those, but American Pie, the OG movies, loved them. I will watch another one.
Or as they bring back Eugene Levy, and he's not the one that dies.
Going down the list, we've got an Arnold. We've got an Arnold.
I've got to say that Kindergarten Cop, while it may be a borderline millennial movie, is so quotable. And how many times do you? I can't think of how many times I just yell, "It's not a tumor." That's my wife always tells me I get man colds. And I'm just like, it's not a tumor, but I have a headache. It's such a quotable movie. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Soundboards in the 90s. Those of you get AOL is finally going offline, and soundboards are gonna be like soundboard people are gonna be sad. But for those of you that want to know what a soundboard was, Google that. Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard. You used to be able to make prank calls with them, and it's not a tumor. Is definitely probably one of my favorite Arnold quotes of all time. Definitely Mount Rushmore material.
So not to be outdone, but also to stay true to the podcast roots, because Arnold is the man and he deserves to be on every Rushmore, regardless of the topic. But there is a simple quote that is just stuck with me, and it's because of those Arnold soundboard prank calls, and it's, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger just saying, yeah, was the best. Still to this day, my roommate and I will call each other, and the first thing that we'll say to each other is, yeah, or yes, or some type of Arnold variation of saying something affirmative. And that's where it's just funny to us, you know? Like Arnold is the man. His movies were just so goddamn entertaining, ridiculous, of course, but at the same time, so quotable. Now, some of you may be thinking, like, well, what about I'll Be Back and all that stuff? Like, yeah, well, that would be on a list. It's just not on this particular Rushmore. And something that we quote all the time. Although I do say I'll be back all the time throughout the house. I'm sure my wife is just like, really? Another movie quote? But hey, that's just how we roll. Yeah is just, it's transcending time. Not only do I say it in the Arnold voice, but hey, you know what? One of my favorite movie franchises, the lead character, John Wick, it seems like his only piece of dialogue in any of the movies is, yeah. So it's just something about it. Something about that word, something about the delivery from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Keanu Reeves later on, but not quite on the Mount Rushmore just yet. But yes, this is our Mount Rushmore of millennial movie quotes and one-liners. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Comment below as to what you think your movie quote would be. And we'll entertain the idea. Maybe we'll even have you on the podcast sometime. Maybe. Who knows? We shall see. But that wraps it up for another episode of the I Can Do This All Day podcast. We got a short and sweet one. I'm Dan, the Part-Time Avenger. That's Mark, the Resident Jedi.
To reach out to us, to let us know that we're wrong, or to volunteer to be on our podcast, don't forget all of our socials at I Can Do This All Day across all of your socials. Like, subscribe, 5-star reviews across the board. Tell your friends, share it on the Facebook. We're here. We're not going anywhere. And it's not a tumor.
Yeah. We'll see you next time, everyone.